Hey guys, my name is Ugo, your name is Blessed, welcome to Tickzon Scheme, and now today we're going to be talking about some reasons why your side hustle is flopping, or is failing, or it's not going as you want it to go, or it is kind of just there, and it's not accelerating as you wish it would. Now, you start off the jump, there's no guarantee of your success within any side project you're doing. So what side hustle you're doing, there's absolutely no guarantee to success. So coming into any new project, you have to understand that you have a risk of failure, and then you do what you can do to increase your chances of succeeding, but also try to mitigate the risks of you failing. And so firstly, commending you on taking the risk, and you might have to take various risks or multiple risks before you be able to succeed in a certain side hustle. But I'm here to talk about common stuff that just a few of what I've noticed in terms of people doing side hustles and why it doesn't really get as far as they wanted to go. Now, the first thing I'll say is that when I talk about side hustles, I assume this is a side hustle to quote unquote a main hustle. So if you're somebody that's saying, oh yeah, I've been working on this, but it's not working, but X, Y, Z, but you don't really have anything else going on in your life, then realistically, it's not your side hustle. It's just something that is there, but you've not necessarily made up as much priority as you could. So if you're not really having a full-time job, or you're just doing like a couple of hours a week in a different other job, then your side hustle is not really your side hustle. It's something that it's a project that you should be putting majority of your free time energy into. Now, one of the main reasons why your side hustle is flopping, ironically, is because you've been neglecting your main hustle. What am I saying? A lot of times when people are in a job or they're in a career, and then they end up finding that they have this new passion that they like, or this new thing that they want to explore, and they feel that they would have more fulfillment in doing that. A lot of people end up neglecting the actual day job, end up neglecting the stuff that they're supposed to be doing, end up neglecting their main job because I don't want to be working for no man. I don't want the system 9 to 5, rat race, which is all cute and nice to say, but you need to understand that this main job is going to fund your side hustle. Without this main job, you wouldn't have the money or resources to be even. Obviously, you would have more time to go to your side hustle, but one reason why you're flopping in your side hustle is because you've neglected your main hustle, and then that's kind of drip feeded into your side hustle. And if you don't carry the same work ethic into your side, you end up seeing that your productivity within your main starts going down, and you could possibly end up losing your job because of that. And now you're stuck with a side hustle that hasn't really gone anywhere, and a main job that you kind of neglected, and you're slightly having regret because neither of them have worked out, and that's how you sabotage yourself on both. So if you have a side hustle, make sure that you still make time for your main, do the time. They're paying you for a reason. So you have to understand, a lot of people, when they're not doing their job in their main job, they feel like, oh, my days, I'm getting away with it. Oh yeah, I'm getting away with it. Look at this is beautiful. Oh yeah, I didn't do it. They're paying me. I know they did like one day's work of worth of work. But you have to understand, it's like you're not really cheating your boss. You're not cheating your workplace. In reality, you're cheating yourself, and you're cheating your family, because you not doing well enough in the job they are in means that you're not going to excel, you're not going to learn, and then you're putting yourself at risk in the position to get let go. And so when questions of like promotions, raises, and all those things, bonuses come into, then you get annoyed that you're not getting any money, but if you actually recall, you weren't putting in the effort. So don't neglect your main job in order for because of your side hustle. Get your side hustle to a position where you can switch focus from your main to your side, and that's the best way to laterally go. And then second, one of the biggest things I also see is that a lot of people, when they're doing their side hustle, you're doing it alone. You can't ask for help. Your hands are in all the pots, and you're doing it all yourself, and there's only so far you can stretch yourself. And so a lot of times when people are doing side hustles, they flop because they want to do everything themselves, and it's just not feasible. It's just not feasible, especially with your main job. Again, side hustle, it's a side to something, you know And so if you're planning on doing it all by yourself with no help, some people are lucky enough that they already have friends who are enthusiastic about the ideas that they're doing, so they have people who just volunteer their time. But most times you have to ask. And so one reason why you're flopping is because you're doing it all by yourself. You don't have anybody who the inputs in there, because you're holding it. This is my baby, this is my side hustle, so that nobody's input is in there. No, bring people in so that people have some level of activity or energy within them. Another thing is that you are spending not enough time on your side hustle, and simultaneously you're spending too much time. So this is in the concept of time. We let's go for both extremes. If you're spending so much time on your side hustle, you can quite possibly be burning yourself out, and not necessarily, you might be busy but not productive, and so you're not using your time potentially wise enough for you to actually be getting the best results in your side hustle. So grinding sounds good, but sometimes taking a break is good for you to actually give yourself space and time to actually proper strategize and properly do this, implement it properly. Now on the other side, not putting enough time is almost self-explanatory. If it's your side hustle, most people's side hustle is just go into side dreams, into like side I wish I had, or side oh I could have done this, or side if you don't make it a priority in your life and you don't make any time for it, then you will surely just forget about it and give it the appropriate time. If you give it too much time, it takes over your life and you lose aspect of the other sides of your life. Because one of the struggles that people have, especially when they're trying to start something, is establishing some level of balance in their life. Now you have to understand, for sometimes in your life you might have to accept not being balanced, skewed to one side, but you have to manage that accordingly. Now the next one is similar to doing it by yourself, is resources. Now a lot of times when people are doing side hustles, they tell me that their problem is resources. They don't have enough money. If they had enough money, then they'll be able to do this, blah blah blah. But that's not true. The truth of the matter is that you're not being as resourceful as you could be. Most times it's not resources. Most times it's how resourceful are you being. That's really the question. How resourceful are you being? Now I say this in the sense of that there's a lot of vehicles out there. There's a lot of tools out there that you can use. There's free editing software. Assuming there's free templates. There's free accounts. There's if you want to learn how to start business, you got Google Workspace. You got Skillshare. You got what's it called? Masterclass. You got, if you're looking for cheap people to out freelance or to assist you, there's Fiverr. You have social media. You can ask a friend. There's always, most times you've not fully used the capacity of which you had to really expand your side hustle, because you're not being as resourceful as you could be with the resources you actually have. So most people's problem is not money. Even in the startup culture, majority of startups, their problem is actually they have too much money. That's actually the interesting thing. They actually have too much money. Too much money, don't know how to spend it. So don't worry. But basically, they have too much money. So the issue is never really about the resources they have. It's how resourceful are you being. So how many people have you contacted? How are you organizing things? And similarly, as we spoke before, how many people are you bringing in? How many people are asking for help? And how many people are you listening to? Or seeking their advice. A lot of things that we want to do in our life, we're not the first person to want to do it. A lot of things that we're struggling for in our life, we're not the first person to struggle with it. And as so, there's a lot of resources out there for you guys to get better in anything you're trying to do realistically within the context of a side hustle. Now, the other one we're going to talk about is risk. Now, risk, similar to time, they're on different scales. Now, some of you guys are, one, not taking enough risk, and two, on the other side, taking too much risk. Now I know a lot of people out there on the vibe of there's no plan B, if there's plan A, and then on this side, and then of like, I'm going straight, this is my side hustle, is my plan A, so there's no reason for plan B. Is a bit of a foolish kind of way to go to some extent, especially in the business sense. And then but so safe, risk adverse, or like loving risk, oh my days, I'm gonna play it safe, then there's no growth in there. There's a happy medium that you need to find at some time, or it's a mixture of some moments having to be high risk, and then some moments having to be conservative. Now the truth of the matter is, like, look, most of us start a side hustle for a couple of different reasons, but sometimes it's just two. One, for that side hustle to maybe at someday become our big thing, or two, just a little money on the side to maybe exercise a passion, or it might not even, the money is a bonus, but just to exercise a passion or try something out and see how it goes, so those are kind of two things where most people kind of find themselves on one side of the pendulum. And so if you're taking too much risk, as in, it can pay out, remember, high risk, high reward, but it can quickly crumble. So if you're taking a lot of risk within there, then yeah, it's that you're playing a dangerous game. And the thing about this game out here in terms of like most side hustles, is that we can bet big, but you have to understand that a lot of things we're doing is also determined by other people. We're social creatures, so we're interconnected in so many ways. So your failure and success is not purely determined by you, and you can do everything you can do. But if other people aren't, here for it or change their minds, then it can go that way, go some kind of way. But on the other side, if you're very risk adverse, you're very safe. I mean, kudos on starting in the first place, but you'll be probably so safe that you probably will end up just not really going anywhere, or be finding some ground but not expanding as far as you can do. It's good to be safe to an extent or be conservative, but it's better to be conservative in the sense that the risks, the weaknesses, and then you're mitigating for it, and then taking some risk, because if you're not taking any kind of risks, then yeah, you're not really going to be growing. And risks, I don't know which side of the scale I want to be in terms of whether I want to be high risk or no risk, but maybe I'd probably tend to go to the high risk, because I mean, depending on side that is, it's depending on what kind of side hustle it is. And look, let's say the last couple of things is that, look, the truth of the matter is that, as harsh as this one's going to sound, is that the side hustle may not necessarily be for you. And you can do that information with two ways. You can, or three ways actually. You can, if you find out the side hustle is difficult or it's not for you, you can go three ways. You can, one, you can quit and find a new side hustle, or just give up. You can give up, essentially. You can reassess and find a new side hustle, or three, look at where you don't know and go and know. If the side hustle is not really for you, it's not really on your strengths right now, can you go and learn? Can you upskill? Can you get yourself up there? You want coding as your side course? Go learn about coding. You want Forex as your side course? Go learn about Forex. You want property as your side hustle? Go learn about property. If you want social media, go learn about social media marketing. Whatever it is, go learn about it so you can get yourself to a position that you can actually, contribute. And yeah, those are just a couple of reasons why your side hustle might not be side hustling. And it's like, this how this, we're talking about a process of making your side chick into a main chick, your side hustle into a main hustle, your side dish into this main, from just plantain on the side to gizdodo. I don't know why I use those analogies, but it is what it is. Hopefully, I hope that your side hustle does become a success. Keep on grinding, keep on striving. Majority of companies, it takes 7 years before, or say 5 to 7 years before they even turn a profit, or you should be expecting to turn from 5 to 7 years of hanging in the game if you're looking for any real sustained success. Most businesses fail in the first 2 years. That's the reason why the taxes around new companies are really kind of lax, or they don't really expect you to make any money. So the first 2 years most businesses fail, or they just quit. And it's really those that make it 5 to 7 years. Even on the YouTube sense, a lot of people, it takes them 5 years to get a 1K subscribers or something like that. And so you can see how much work that goes into it. And let's add a bonus. One reason why your side hustle is not side hustling, it's flopping, is because it surprised you. You came into it with so much enthusiasm and so much passion that you didn't really expect the amount of work that would actually go into it. And so if it's too much work for you, you can do that with a lot of different things. Now, look, it's important to have the passion and the drive, but it's not going to, this won't sustain you to a long term of you getting to where your vision needs to do if you don't know why you're doing what you're doing, if you have no vision and you have no plan of being consistent and disciplined. That's just a fact. And so it's tough because you had high expectations. You dreamed the world, and even sometimes one of the reasons why a side hustle flops is because the expectations you set was too high for yourself, especially when you didn't realize you're starting from zero. You were expecting 2,000 and you were at zero. So being measured in terms of your where you're trying to go to. And even in fact, let me give you guys another bonus, is that look, this is just one truth that most people don't tell you when it comes to side hustles. A lot of the time, if your side hustle is like a passion, it's something you enjoy, it's something you like to do, whether that be to make music, do arts and crafts, take care of people, social media, all these kind of things. The moment you turn your passion into a job, into a hustle, into work, you may not enjoy it as much. You probably won't enjoy it as much, especially like, you used to make paintings because you wanted to make it as gifts to see the joy in your family's face. Now people are demanding that I need this by Friday. Now you're stressed. And so it's a different switch because you're not just, before you were pushing yourself out of pure passion, pure happiness, pure joy. And now you're being pulled by money and people's demands and people's requests. And sometimes, especially on a creative sense, it can feel very draining, very stressful. But you just have to have that in mind as you go into a side hustle, and understand that what will actually carry you to the end is less your passion on a completely day-to-day basis. Anyway, I tell you that they were passionate every single day, or at least the passion showed every single day, it's not really completely telling the truth, or they weren't in the scale that was probably, even at a small scale, when you're starting off as artists or whatever, when they were doing it, they were just having fun, doodling, it was so cool. But when they start again, demand, it only works very well when it becomes their main hustle. Then they can kind of have more freedom. But the stress that comes from being your side hustle that used to be your passion plus having a main job is very difficult balance for you to kind of actually have and actually to kind of get through. So understanding that and trying to mitigate for that, and especially trying to manage your expectations of where you're going to go, is very important. And as you go through this thing, look, when you want to start a side hustle, there's two things that people typically have, or fears that go into two categories: either the fear of failure or the fear of success. Now, look, those who are fearing success, oh my days, I'm gonna get too many orders, I don't know how to deal with it, blah blah blah. Deal with that when you start getting those orders. Don't deal with it when you have zero. Don't deal with it when you have zero. It's you would get there when you get there, and then there's always a solution for every problem. Now those who fear failure, look, the biggest failure in your sense, I'll tell you, is not starting. That's your biggest failure, it's not starting. So start, try and do it. Don't worry about disappointment. There is some reason, some way that you can fail, but nothing ventured, nothing gained. That's it. That's what it is. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. So in the process of you trying to get your side hustle and trying to do whatever it is, make sure that you kind of push yourself, have reason to push and pull, but bring more people into you. And look, the last I'm just keep on developing more. Look, one reason why your side hustle may be flopping is because, look, you are either a perfectionist or overthinker. It's not going to be perfect. Just get it out. The beauty of doing a side hustle is that when you see yourself 2 years in some time, you're supposed to see some growth. So even better, you can start off even more rubbish, so you can see the growth exponential. Overthinkers, listen, it's cute. Perfectionists and overthinkers, you want to get the best product out there. But especially when you're starting, the market is available there for you to have some growth. So give yourself the chance to grow. Make a damn decision. Make a damn decision. You are so caught up in I don't know, but I want this. You either don't make a decision, you don't put something out there. Put it out there. Just do it. Hashtag Nike. Just put it out there. Stop wasting too much time making decisions. Just make a decision, and then you figure out whether it's the right or wrong decision afterwards. And then if you're doing it by yourself, find somebody to hold you accountable. A lot of people, the reason why their stuff don't work out is because they have no way to hold them accountable. That's the reason why a lot of times, even investors, they like Why is my nose itchy? I don't know. Uh, that's the reason why a lot of investors invest in teams. They give the money because of the best team. They don't really like the companies that just started by one person. They target, especially if it's a two-person thing, because they have somebody to hold them accountable. You know, how somebody to kind of push and pull them. So even if they don't bring, even if the people who hold you accountable are actually different than the people who will support you in your side hustle, because they're here to perform a function. They might be sending emails, they might be packaging stuff, but people to hold you accountable to your goals and to your business and to making sure that you got put in your time to get where you want to go. So hopefully, I know it's been a slightly long video, but hopefully we've kind of provided you some food for thought as to why some people, or why your side hustle is not side hustling and it's not successful. And yeah, keep on striving, keep on hustling. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're smiling. I hope you're shining, and I hope you're thriving. And soon, I hope your side hustle will be thriving, as opposed to just surviving. So hit the like button, subscribe, comment if that feels deemed. Let me know if you want any other videos or anything, you know, covered, and we'll try to oblige. So have a blessed day. Take care, and bye.